Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the three-peat. Testing the durability of some of Hot Toys' newest Spider-Man figures released, and in a variety of sorts. From symbiote to regular, you're going to want to stay till the very end because we have some information to share. Alright everybody, so as the intro has mentioned, we are going to be looking at some of Hot Toys' newest Spider-Man figures released, because there seems to be this ongoing thing that with newer figures, the materials have upgraded. And we're going to test that today with figures such as Symbiote Spider-Man from the VGM game, and even bigger figures such as Tom Hardy's Venom. While yes, I know it was released a long time ago, I still think this will be incredible information for people collecting the future Venoms that are going to be coming very soon. Now what we're primarily posing is the arm articulation, because this is one of the more critical points for Spider-Man figures. A lot of crease or damage can arise here, so I think this would be the perfect opportunity to test it with some of the latest Spider-Man figures. But I may be destroying some of my most favorite Spider-Man figures, so what you can do to help me is hit that like and subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it, and let's get straight into the experiment. So let's check into my collection and start posing up these figures. So Venom here is going to get some nice arm articulation. Like I said, I'm not really focusing on the bottom half, just more so the arms. There are problems with flaking and cracking on this figure because of the texture of the suit, so we're gonna see how it holds up in about a week's time. But I bent the elbow pretty much as far as I could. He doesn't have the greatest range of articulation, but yes, you can see that the material is very close together. But let's move on to our next figure. I don't know how many times I have to say this, but the VGM line from the Spider-Man game is just such an incredible line by Hot Toys, and hopefully I do not destroy this absolutely glorious figure, the Symbiote Spider-Man. We're going to pose up the arms and the elbows as far as I can, and we're going to find out how that symbiote material stays in the distant future. You can see I'm clearly struggling with my skeleton arms to get this figure bent as far as possible, but yes, we're gonna see how that material holds up in about a week. And for anyone wondering where I got those custom tendrils on his back, Zord.photography on Instagram, make sure to check him out. But let's move on to figure number 3. You know, if we're using the black suit, I feel like we had to get the regular advanced suit out as well, and I am kind of worried about this one, not gonna lie. I'm gonna pose this one pretty harshly with the arms, and I'm fully expecting that rubber material to maybe not stand the test of time. But to be fair, I was worried about Miles as well, and honestly, it's healed up pretty well for people who have watched part 2 of this posing series. I'll shoot a link at the top if you want to check that out after this video, but yeah, some good news for Miles fans. But I think we have him pretty much fully extended on the elbows, so let's move on to figure number 4. Oh, God help me. You know, I had to bring out the GOAT for the final figure of this experiment, and it is Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and we are going to get this specific arm bent to the farthest it can be. And honestly, this figure has some pretty great articulation, but we're going to see if it can hold up with the materials of the suit, because those blue parts are making me a little damn nervous. And yes, my collection looks pretty damn goofy because these poses just look kind of off because I'm just bending the arms, but I will change it back afterwards, obviously. But yeah, bro is pretty posed up. This will be the last figure I am articulating, so we have to do the annoying thing, which is to wait. It is Friday, October 11th for people who want proof. I am going to be holding all of these figures in a week pose, but you guys just have to wait, 5 seconds because this is pre-recorded. Lucky bastards. Anyways, 1 week's time, we're going to find out how these figures held up. So we'll see you then. Okay, everyone, it is Friday, October 18th, and we have the figures in the light box, and we're going to be starting with Spider-Man Advanced Suit, taking him out of this pose and seeing how the materials held up. Now, let's get these little symbiote effects out of the way so we can clearly see it. All right, moment of truth, drum roll, please. And okay, I do see a little bit of creasing. There is a little bit of a mark on the top end of his elbow, but yeah, it's not too terrible. We're gonna see how it holds up in a little bit. Let's move on to the other arm as well. I feel like I was kind of expecting worse. Oh my God. Okay, that doesn't look too ideal, to be honest, but we're going to see how it looks in a little bit because these materials do tend to heal, but oh man, okay, this one might be a little cooked, I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of trying to just extend the material to kind of stretch it out and see if that helps out more, but yeah, it's going to take some time here. I feel like it will heal a lot better. The back end, you can see it has these lines as well, kind of noticeable, but that's more like I can live with that, those little creases around the sides. But yeah, you can see right here, it might not be one of those ones where you want to pose long term because these do look pretty damn noticeable. Let's move on to the symbiote. Yeah, I'm like totally not nervous right now because, you know, this isn't like one of my favorite figures ever. You know, just don't really want this to get ruined. But yeah, let's take off these custom symbiote effects. For people wondering, that is from Zord Photography. But let's take this out of the pose and see, please God, be good. Okay, it's looking good. It's not looking too bad. And I'm fairly certain this is Hot Toys' latest release figure ever from Spider-Man, so this is a good template to see for our video we're making. But let's extend the other arm and see how it looks. And honestly, both look like they are going to heal up. I don't think there's anything gonna stay permanent, which is a great sign. Obviously, for this symbiote figure, you're gonna want to pose him to your heart's extent. And yeah, it looks like it just has those regular lines around the elbows on the back. Again, I can live with that. It's not that big of a deal. Can you? Let me know in the comments. Maybe that's a big deal to you. And I know it looks a little bad right now. You can see the creases, but if you didn't know, usually these tend to heal over after like a day or a couple even minutes. So we're going to see how this looks in just a little bit of time. But so far, so good. It looks like this is a W. I seriously couldn't recommend this figure anymore. I think it is the best Spider-Man figure I own posing and just articulation-wise. You can do a lot here. And yeah, it looks like the posing could very well heal over itself, so that's a good sign. Let's move on to the GOAT himself, though. Tobey Stinkin' Maguire in this goofy-ass pose. Let's extend out that arm and see how he held up, but I'm fairly certain he'll be good given the red fabric, and yes, it looks like it is very good. The blue parts doesn't look to be affected at all, which is a great sign. Other than the back end, it has a little bit of a bump. But figures such as Tobey, where the red parts are fabric, you don't have to deal as much with creasing. That said, it's the opposite for the blue parts. They're absolutely atrocious, to be honest. So if you do end up doing poses where that rubber is just creasing or sticking to itself, it's definitely going to crease over. You can see his knee right here is in some pretty rough shape, to be honest. So yeah, this figure, it really isn't great for posing. But let's move on to Venom himself. I'm sorry I had to, but is anyone hyped for the third movie coming out this week? Let me know if you're going to see it in the comments below. Hopefully it doesn't suck. I'm tired of seeing mid-ass movies. Joker 2. But yeah, let's get these arms taken out of this pose, and we're going to see if you can pose up Venom figures, and it looks like arm articulation wise is very good. I don't think I see any cracking or damage at all, which is amazing. I do see some cheeks though, god damn. The articulation, yeah, it's really good. I don't really see anything at all, honestly. I think as long as you're in the right environment, you will be fine here. There's no issues with, oh shit. I have seen cases of people having their figures crack over time, but I've had this figure for like 2.5 years and nothing's ever happened. So now that we took the figures out of the pose, let's wait a day and see if the materials heal up over time. Okay, so it's been 24 hours and we have the advanced suit here, and it definitely looks a lot better shape than it was earlier. But that said, there is still some visible creases that I don't think is going to leave. It's going to stay there permanently. It's an unfortunate reality, but with these rubber suits, you just have to deal with creasing like this. So I can see why people would steer clear of Spider-Man figures because of that reason. But to me, it's not a deal breaker at all. It's not even something I notice right away. For such a far bend, I can just live with these creases personally. But let me know your thoughts in the comments because these are $300 figures. But let's go to the black suit and see how it looks. And honestly, I'm pretty happy with it for the pose it was in. I mean, I'm still seeing like a little bit of lines, but since obviously the material is all black, it's kind of in the shadow and you can't really notice it, and the figure's bumpy itself, so it kind of matches it in a way. Maybe that's just an excuse and I'm coping, but it looks like Hot Toys' newest figure. The materials they used are pretty damn amazing. I'm not really noticing anything that's screaming out to the screen, and I'm honestly pretty shocked because I bent the arm pretty much to the max capability, and for a week long in that pose, I was expecting a lot worser shape, but it looks like it's held up pretty well. Again, I just need to glaze this figure one more time. The articulation is beautiful. The details are immaculate. The sculpts are amazing. It's just such a good Spider-Man figure. I'm telling you, if you want your first Spider-Man figure, judging from this experiment can heal off pretty well in poses, get this black suit. You will not be disappointed, but you will be with this garbage-ass figure. No Way Home, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. No, I'm just kidding. It's not garbage, but it's just, you know my thoughts on it already if you followed my channel. But yeah, you can see this one looks like it doesn't have the same amount of healing as the other options because, yeah, the blue parts are just really struggling. Even the crotch has some creasing, but yeah, this figure definitely can pose, but when doing so, cannot heal off very well. So if you're one of those collectors, I'd steer clear from posing this one. Keep it to museum. And finishing off with Venom, I don't have much to say because everything was amazing. So this is a good sign for future Venom figures coming. As long as, like I said, is in the right environment, your figures will be in amazing shape when posing. Now, when going to our closing thoughts, I think we learned a lot today. For one thing, Tobey's Spider-Man cannot pose for shit with the blue areas. The advanced suit Spider-Man kind of got wrecked. And honestly, the symbiotes took over this series because they showed that they can pose pretty damn well and kind of makes sense, funnily enough, since it is a symbiote figure. Alright, I'll stop talking, this is cringe. But they really are the winners of this video and series itself. I do have a lot of fun making these videos, and you guys show your support on every single one, and I really do appreciate it. Let me know if this should be the last one. I could do something maybe with DC or Star Wars, or just destroy some other Spider-Man figures I have. But with that being said, hopefully you enjoyed it. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. We're literally one sub off 20K right now at this moment, and I love each and every one of you. Thank you for the support. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below. Did anything steer you away from picking up a figure or make you want to pick up a figure? Be safe out there and take care. Peace out, guys.